A very good morning to all of you. Today, myself Shubham Jaswal is standing before you all to teach a very interesting topic that is rigid and flexible constitutions. But before, it's my humble request to all of you to share, subscribe this channel, Sacred Study, give love, give support to this channel so that this channel will grow and I can do better than this. One thing I want to tell you, my dear friends. In earlier videos, we have looked the different aspect of the constitutions, that what is constitution, what is written constitution, what is unwritten constitution, what are the classifications of the constitution, that is the federal and unitary constitutions. We have also seen the importance of the constitutions, but in this video we are going to look the flexible and rigid constitutions. Why the constitutions, some of the country have the rigid constitution, why some of the country have the flexible constitutions. What are the reason behind this? But before, we have discussed in earlier video about the classifications of the constitutions. There we discussed about the federal and unitary character of the constitutions. We have discussed some of the points, such as in the flexible and the written, in flexible and the unitary constitutions. We have discussed what are the points, what are the features we have looked in the unitary and the federal. That is, in federal and in unitary. In federal there is two tier of government. In unitary there is a one tier of government. Means to say, in the federal there will be two government at the center and the state, and both having the same power. There is a distribution of power. There is one tier of government, no distribution of power. Next point we have discussed that in federal we having the independent judiciary system, whereas in unitary system we having the integrated judiciary system. Means dependent judiciary system, sorry for using integrated, dependent judiciary system. Independent judiciary system and dependent judiciary system, what is the difference? Mainly in federal country, independent means the judiciary, the judges can give verdict, can give judgment independently. There is no interference of the legislative and executive in the matter of justice, in the matter of judicial. But in the federal, I have given one example, United Kingdom. There the judiciary system is dependent, is abide to follow, to listen the laws, rules of the parliament. What the parliament will going to say, the judiciary have to abide, and accordingly he has to give or she has to give the judgment. So there is a supremacy of parliament, but in India, here we having the supremacy of the constitutions. So we have looked the federal and the unitary character. But friends, I have not discussed 2 or 3 points in the federal and the unitary, and that will be most important for you all. Whatever the point I have not discussed in earlier video, just now I am going to discuss. Listen with patience. Any confusion you will face while listening, while understanding, you can comment in my comment box. You can ask. Okay, all the details is being provided to you all in our description box. Okay, so don't worry. Keep loving, keep supporting this channel, but don't forget to share, subscribe this channel. So in earlier classes, I have discussed the federal and the unitary character. Federal constitution and unitary constitution. मेरे प्यारे दोस्तों, मैंने क्या क्या समझा था यूनिटरी और फेडरल कैरेक्टर में। जरा एक बार फिर से रिवाइज कर लेंगे। फेडरल कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, यूनिटरी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशंस में हमने ये देखा था कि फेडरल कॉन्स्टिट्यूशंस पे वी हैव सीन दैट इन फेडरल कॉन्स्टिट्यूशंस वी हैविंग दी two tier of government in the sense there will be one government at the center and there will be second government at the state level, and both having the same power, and there is clear cut difference between the distribution, that is a power, there is difference, there is a clear cut distribution of power between the state and the center. Means whatever will be the matter of the state, the state will going to decide on that particular state subject, and whatever the matter will lie in the center has the power to discuss all the matters related to the center subject. So we have seen that in federal constitution, unitary constitution, in federal constitution we having the two tier of government, and in unitary constitution we have seen that a single tier of government. तो नेक्स्ट पॉइंट हमने देखा था कि इन फेडरल कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, इन यूनिटरी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशंस देयर इज अ डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ पावर, नो डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ पावर. थर्ड पॉइंट वी हैव सीन अबाउट independent judiciary system and dependent judiciary system. Then we have looked what we have looked in the federal constitution, unitary constitutions, the two-tier government, single-tier government, independent judiciary system, dependent judiciary system. Then we have seen rigid constitutions and flexible constitution. Mainly in the federal, we have seen these rigid and strong constitutions, whereas unitary constitution we have mainly seen the flexible constitutions. The next point which I have to tell you is much important for you all. So listen and try to understand from depth of heart, because by heart you cannot do until unless you are going to understand from your mind. So try to understand. If you face any kind of difficulties in understanding, you are free to comment, you are free to ask me, and so that when you're going to tell me, that I will going to modify, I will going to enhance this video by your comment. So any doubt, any problem related to this, you please comment so that I can do something better than this, okay? But friends, आपसे मेरा रिक्वेस्ट होगा कि आप इस चैनल को जहाँ तक हो सके शेयर करें, सब्सक्राइब करें और लाइक करें. The next point which I am going to discuss is very, very much important. That is the federal constitution and unitary constitution. In federal constitutions, the federal constitutions talk dual citizenships. Dual citizenship. And in unitary constitution it talks single citizenship. Next is written constitution. One thing you don't forget, dear friends, I have explained all the other points in earlier video. If you have to understand this thing, you please watch the earlier 3 videos so that you can get base and you can easily understand this thing. This federal constitution also talk the dual citizenships and the written constitutions. Unwritten constitution. Constitution is the supreme power of land which enjoys special sanctity. So in earlier classes we have discussed what are the federal constitutions, what are the unitary constitutions. फेडरल कॉन्स्टिट्यूशंस को ऐसे समझ सकते हैं कि इट इज़ अ फॉर्म ऑफ गवर्नमेंट, ओके, which tell that there should be the two tier of government, whereas unitary tell that there should be the one tier of government. What are the different features of the federal constitution? What are the different features of the unitary constitutions? I have told you 4 points in earlier video, and this 2 new points which is very much important for the classifications of the federal constitutions and the unitary constitution. That federal constitution also talk dual citizenships, written constitutions, unitary constitutions, single citizenships, unwritten constitutions. One more point. Bicameralism. Okay, that is the third point of the federal constitutions. Dual citizenships, written constitutions, and bicameralism, that there should be the two houses, that is the upper house and the lower house. In India we having the Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Rajya Sabha is the upper house, Lok Sabha is the lower house. No bicameralism. There should not be the two houses. Try to understand. You can take the example of the federal constitutions, that is United States of America. In the unitary constitutions you can take the example of United Kingdom. Very much important. Friend, I am going to explain this two things, the federal constitution, unitary constitutions. दिल से समझो, क्योंकि दिल से नहीं, दिमाग समझो, सॉरी। हमें चीज़ें तब तक याद रहेंगी, हमारे पूरे बॉडी सिस्टम में 2 जगह डाइजेशन होता है। फर्स्ट डाइजेशन इज टेकिंग प्लेस इन आवर स्टमक, और जो सेकेंड डाइजेशन होता है वो हमारे दिमाग में होता है। तो हम लोग गलती क्या करते हैं, हमने खाना खाया वो तो डाइजेशन हो जाएगा, लेकिन हमारे दिमाग में डाइजेशन खुद से नहीं होगा, वो हमें करना पड़ेगा। हमें जो पढ़े उस पर सोचना पड़ेगा, और पढ़ने का मेन मकसद होता है सोचना। ये चीज़ हो सकता है कि किसी पास अधिक नॉलेज है, किसी पास कम नॉलेज है, लेकिन पढ़ने का यही मतलब होता है आप कितना बियॉन्ड सोच सकते हो। दैट इज़ अ पर्पस ऑफ एजुकेशन। सो यू थिंक माय डियर फ्रेंड, फेडरल कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, यूनिटरी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशंस। फेडरल says that there should be dual citizenship, but unitary says that there should be the single citizenship. Understand? Citizenship, if you want to acquire the citizenship of India, there is a 2 method by which you can acquire, by birth and by descent. Whereas if I am not wrong, in United States of America there is only for one way for acquiring the citizenships, by birth. Okay, I may be wrong in this point, okay, but I want to tell you that federal constitutions, but I will correct you if I will get this subject, if I will get the topic citizenships, but here I'm not much aware about the citizenships. I have a little confusions, but this point I have clear and I can make you understand very easily. Federal Constitution, unitary constitutions. The federal talks dual citizenships. Dual citizenships means two citizenships. How we can understand? Okay. One example I can give you. You know, United States of America is a pure federal country. If you go in United States of America, okay, there you can see, yeah, you can get the visa of the United States of America and you can watch United States of America, okay, for a limited period of time. So there you will going to see that the people living in United States of America having the two citizenships. For example, you take an example that myself, Shubham Jaiswal, I may be the yeah, of course you can take example. Let's assume that I am a citizen of United States of America and I am living in California state, okay. So if I will be the citizens of United States of America, I will have the two citizenships, because the federal constitution talks that there should be the two citizenships, that the first citizenships and the second citizenships. So if I am living in California region, then I should have the citizenship of the California state, but also I should have the citizenship of the United States of America. Okay, so the points which I am making you understand is that federal constitutions talk dual citizenship, that if a person living in United States of America must have the two citizenship, first that particular state citizenship and second that United States of America citizenships, okay, because federal talks dual citizenship, but unitary don't talk. Unitary say that there should be the single citizenship, that if a person living in if a person living in United Kingdom, maybe in London, then he or she should have only and only single citizen, that is England citizenship, that is United Kingdom citizenship. But you can see in the case of the India, since India follow federal, our constitution is federal in character, but still we having the single citizenship, that is Indian citizenship. What is the reason behind this? Just listen. Since India is a diverse country, we having the different religions, we having the different cultures, we having the different languages. So in order to maintain the unity, sovereignty, integrity of the nation, our leader thought that it is much important to have the single citizenship, so that the people living in different states, follow different religions, feel single, feel that they are one. And one thing I want to tell you, my dear friends, in United States of America, what happened, there is some drawback of having double citizenship. What are the drawbacks? क्या हमें घाटा हो सकता है अगर हमारे पास डबल सिटीजनशिप है? तो यूनाइटेड स्टेट ऑफ अमेरिका में अगर आप कैलिफोर्निया रीजन में रहते हो तो आपके पास कैलिफोर्निया रीजन की सिटीजनशिप होगी और यूनाइटेड स्टेट ऑफ अमेरिका की सिटीजनशिप भी होगी. बट ये फेडरल कहता है. इंडिया में एक्सेप्शन ये है कि हम लोग फेडरल इन कैरेक्टर होने के बावजूद हम लोग सिंगल सिटीजनशिप हैं. व्हाट इज द रीजन? रीज़न यही है कि इंडिया का जो कल्चर है, इंडिया का जो लैंग्वेजेस है, इंडिया में रहने वाले लोग डाइवर्स। इंडिया इज नोन फॉर इट्स डाइवर्सिटी, एंड सिंस इंडिया हैविंग द डाइवर्सिटी, so in order to maintain the peace, security, love, unity, integrity, there should have only have one single citizenship. And of course our leader have done this thing because they were aware about the problem of the future. If they were not able to manage this, let's take an example that if we having the double citizenship, then what will be the situation? Of course there must be some situation, there must be some problem lying in the double citizenship, as we see in United States of America. In United States of America, what is happening? If you are the citizens of California region, if you want to go some another region, there the state government will discriminate on the basis of the citizenship, because state government now find a one way or one ground to discriminate you. But India don't have such grounds by which state can discriminate on the basis of citizenship. अगर आप इंडिया में हो तो आप एक स्टेट से दूसरे स्टेट में जा रहे हो तो you cannot be discriminated because you having a single citizenship, that is Indian citizenships. But if you are living in United States of America, there you can face this discrimination on the grounds of citizenship. So that is the disadvantage and drawback of having the dual citizenship. So this question can come, since India is a federal in character but still we having the single citizenship, what is the reason behind this? Justify with this statement. ये क्वेश्चन हो सकता है माय डियर फ्रेंड कि अगर इंडिया जो है वो फेडरल इन कैरेक्टर, बिकॉज फेडरल से दैट वी मस्ट हैव दिस डुअल सिटीजनशिप, but still India follows a federal character, but still we having the single citizenship. What is the reason behind this? Because India is diverse in culture, and in order to keep them unite, our politician, and there is need to have the single citizenship, because single citizens will give you feeling of oneness, that we the people of India one, we are not different. And since India having this problem that we having the different citizen, we having the different culture, we having the different language, there is need to maintain the unity. Therefore our politician, our leader have done this thing, have done single citizenship, because they were aware about the problem of the future, that there might be one situations where people can be discriminated on the grounds of citizenship, as we see in United States of America. Because in United States of America, peoples are peoples are being discriminated by the state government because of the citizenship. There is problem lying behind this one ground, citizenship. तो अगर आपके पास सिंगल सिटीजनशिप है तो स्टेट के पास कोई चारा नहीं है. बट इफ यू हैविंग दी single citizenship, you don't face any problem. I hope you understood. तो सिटीजनशिप ये बताता है कि आप जो हो किस देश के नागरिक हो. ओके, सो मेनली फेडरल कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन स्टॉक द ड्यूअल सिटीजनशिप, whereas unitary constitution stocks single citizenship. My friend, देखो इंडिया एक यूनिक है, हमने फेडरल पढ़ा, हमने यूनिटरी पढ़ा, बट वी फाइंड द एक्सेप्शन. इंडिया इज itself our exception. We having the many things which are both federal and unitary. That's why India is itself a exception. That is the main reason why there is need to read more about India, because India is unique. So फेडरल होने के बावजूद भी अगर हमारे पास सिंगल सिटीजनशिप है तो इसका मतलब ये है कि हमारे इंडिया का कल्चर इतना बड़ा है, इतनी डाइवर्स है, उसको एक करने का एक ही जरिया था सिंगल सिटीजनशिप दो. और हमारे लीडर इस प्रॉब्लम से अवगत थे कि अगर हम डबल सिटीजनशिप रखेंगे तो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को एक मिल जाएगा कि उसको डिस्क्रिमिनेट किया जाए ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द सिटीजनशिप. So in order to maintain the brotherhood, unity, oneness, there is need to have the single citizenship, and of course they did. तो ऐसा किए भी, and we having the single citizenship. Okay, बावजूद कि हम लोग फेडरल इन कैरेक्टर है. ओके, तो नेक्स्ट पॉइंट इज in the federal constitutions one more feature is written constitution, but unitary constitutions talks unwritten constitutions. In previous video I have explained about the written and unwritten constitutions, but still I am going to explain this thing. You listen with carefully. written constitutions and unwritten constitutions का मतलब एक होता है. रिटन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशंस का मतलब ये है कि लॉज जो है वो लिखे गए और उसको सिंगल डॉक्यूमेंट में भी कॉडिफाइड किया गया. सच एग्जांपल दैट यूनाइटेड स्टेट ऑफ अमेरिका इज वन ऑफ द ओल्डेस्ट कॉन्स्टिट्यूशंस, ओल्डेस्ट डेमोक्रेसी, एंड यूनाइटेड स्टेट ऑफ अमेरिका हैविंग द रिटन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशंस. व्हाट इट मीन्स दैट लॉज आर लेड डाउन बट स्टिल इट इज कॉडिफाइड इन सिंगल डॉक्यूमेंट, दैट इज कॉल्ड रिटन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशंस. And of course India is also having the written constitutions, and India having the written constitutions, and it is one of the lengthiest written constitutions in the world. And our constitution is elaborated, detailed, comprehensive. Remember the 3 point. Okay, so and this written constitutions and unwritten constitution does not means that the constitutions are not written. Constitution still written, still constitution are written, but it is not codified in single document. कहने का मतलब ये है कि constitution जो है वो लिखे गए हैं, constitution लिखे गए हैं, but उसको single document में हम लोग codified नहीं किए. क्यों? क्योंकि वहाँ जो जहाँ यूनिटरी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है वहाँ का मानना है कि अगर हम लोग रिटन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन करेंगे तो हम लोग हम लोग उससे बॉन्ड बंध जाएंगे और उसको हमें फॉलो करना पड़ेगा. तो यूनाइटेड किंगडम देयर इज सुप्रीमेसी ऑफ पार्लियामेंट, एंड सिंस द पार्लियामेंट इज सुप्रीम so whatever will be the coming government, they will try to change the constitutions. अगर उनके पास this written constitution होगा, then they will face problem in changing the constitutions. And since they having the unwritten constitution, they find very easy to change the constitution of United Kingdom. Of United Kingdom constitutions. So unwritten constitutions का मतलब ये है कि the laws are laid down but it is not codified in single document, that is called unwritten constitution, and such example is United Kingdom and New Zealand having the unwritten constitution. Simply means laws लिखे हैं लेकिन उसको single document में codified नहीं किया गया. कहने का मतलब ये है कि अगर आप यूनाइटेड किंगडम और यूनाइटेड स्टेट ऑफ अमेरिका में जाओगे and simply ask to show your constitution, they will able to show your constitution because they have codified in single document and they are able to show this thing, but they have not codified in single document. So how they can you how can they show you? क्या वो एक एक पन्ना ले आके आपको शो करेंगे? ऐसा नहीं हो सकता. They don't have enough time to show all this paper. Okay, so written constitution and unwritten constitution का मतलब मैं समझ रहा हूँ कि आप समझ गए होंगे. और हमें जो नेक्स्ट पे बात करना है वो है बाइकैमरलिज्म एंड bicameralism, that is upper and lower house, whereas no bicameralism. Okay, so federal talk that there should be the two houses, that upper houses and lower houses, but unitary, in unitary it only talks that there should be the one house. Okay, one more important point, so I hope you understood this whole things. Federal constitution, unitary constitutions, I have explained in earlier video. Please go and watch those 3 videos by which you can get the base of it and you can easily understand this thing. Okay, so you do this thing. Federal constitution and unitary constitutions, we have talked just now the dual citizenships and single citizenships. We have looked that India is exception in this. Then we have looked written constitution and unwritten constitution. Then we have looked bicameralism and no bicameralism. Okay. One question is there. Which are the points, which are the things which tell you that India is having both, that is federal in character, but if we talk spirit, it is unitary. So which are the things that tells about that India is both federal as well as unitary? So there must be some questions related to this, that what are the points which tell you that India having both, that is federal in character and unitary in spirit. So I can discuss those points and you listen, okay, with the patience. Writing board. So I hope you are enjoying this video. You are enjoying. So please don't forget to share, subscribe this channel Sacred Study. You give lots of love to this channel so that this channel can grow and I can also do much more work. Okay. So because you know, when you love this channel, when you subscribe this channel will going to grow up, no, and this will going to this will going to promote, this will going to encourage me to do some more and more work. Okay, so listen, because just now when you will going to listen, then you will be able to speak more better. So this is the age where you have to listen more and more, because listening skill is good for this age. Then you are free to tell tell anything, you are free to give knowledge, but you have to acquire much more knowledge just now this period. So which are the points which tells that India is having both that federal in character but unitary in spirit? Just wait a minute. एक बात है फ्रेंड्स कि हम लोग पढ़ाई क्यों करते हैं? एक महान व्यक्ति ने कहा है कि एजुकेशन इज द पावरफुल वेपन. व्हेन आई से वेपन, it is good for the nation, it is a bad for the nation. But it is being assumed that weapon is always bad for the nation because it creates destructions which kills more and more number of people. But in order to protect this nation, weapon is very important. Same, knowledge is also both. Education tell you that at which moment what you have to do. Education is the powerful weapon by which you can change the thinking of the world. You can change the world. Because definitely education enhances your mind. It provides broad thinking to your minds. How much you can think beyond this? That is the power of education. So keep studying, keep learning. ओके हो सकता है आप बड़े हो, आप छोटे हो, लेकिन आपके पास नॉलेज, एजुकेशन होना जरूरी है. हो सकता है आप अधिक कमाओ, मैं कम कमाओ, हो सकता है, लेकिन एक एजुकेटेड व्यक्ति हर जगह पूजा जाता है. जस्ट वेट एंड वॉच. इंडिया is having both unitary as well as federal constitution. India is having both unitary as well as federal constitution. So tell me the points which satisfy this statement. First, India is federal in character, but still we having the single citizenship. So this single citizenship tell that India is both federal as well as unitary, because this is a feature of the unitary. It is a feature of the unitary, but still India is federal. So we having the both, that is the unitary and federal. Next, whenever there is constitutional breakdown in a state, then you might have seen that there is a imposition of the emergency, that is state emergency, which we call President rule by Articles 356. Okay, 356. Oh. So whenever there is constitutional breakdown, so what you will see that there is impositions of the President rule, which we call state emergency. Under this situation, all the state power will go in the hand of the center government. It means what? The center is strong. Still, we are federal in character, but we follow the unitary features sometime, such as at the abnormal case. That is a strong center. Third, still we having the dual government, two-tier government, but sometime whenever there is abnormal situations, we follow the strong center concept. Single citizenships, strong center. Third point is what? ऐसे कौन कौन से पॉइंट्स जो बताता है इंडिया बोथ है, फेडरल एज वेल एज यूनिटरी. तो हम लोग फेडरल कैरेक्टर, बट स्टिल देयर इज सिंगल सिटीजनशिप्स विच टेल्स दैट इंडिया इज बोथ, दैट इज फेडरल एज वेल एज यूनिटरी. Next, we having the strong center whenever there is abnormal situation in the country, such as terrorist attack, internal disturbance, then all India services, Indian services, IAS, IPS, IFS, these are all Indian services. This also shows that unitary character. क्यों नहीं स्टेट के अलग हो सकते हैं, जिसे PCS कहते हैं, और सेंटर के अलग हो सकते हैं, बट स्टिल वी हैविंग द ऑल इंडियन सर्विसेज. सेंटर इज स्ट्रॉन्ग. नेक्स्ट, single citizenship, strong center, all Indian services. What will be the fourth point? So India is having both, that is unitary as well as federal constitutions. Which are the points which satisfy this statement? That is single citizenships, strong center, all Indian services, and the last and the most important point is flexible constitution. And since you know this thing that flexible constitution is a feature of the unitary, it is a feature of the unitary, whereas federal talks that there should, federal constitution talk that they should have the rigid constitution, but there we see that there is flexible too. होता है कि नहीं होता है? ऑफ कोर्स होता ही है. हम लोग सभी प्रोसीजर्स लॉ हमारे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में बहुत इजीली चेंज हो जाते हैं बाय सिंपल मेजॉरिटी. I will discuss in next class what are the simple majority, effective majority, absolute majority by which government change the laws easily. So this shows that we also follow the flexible constitutions. So these are the different points which tells that we are both, that is unitary as well as federal constitution. That is single citizenships, a strong center, all Indian services, flexible constitutions, all Indian services just such as IFS, Indian Foreign Service, Indian Revenue Service, IPS, Indian Police Service, and IS, Indian Administrative Service. It is at the center level. This shows that there is supremacy of the center. And this is a characteristic of the unitary. But we are federal constitution. It means that we are both federal as well as unitary. So, one more point. You know, friend, in every state there is a state governor. So that state governor is appointed by the president from the center. This shows that our center is strong. That our center is strong. Okay? So I hope you understood this thing. That state governor at the स्टेट लेवल. आप इस बात को जानते हैं कि गवर्नर जो होता है वो सेंटर से अपॉइंटेड होता है टू सी वेदर ऑल द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल प्रोविजन इज बीइंग फॉलोड इन स्टेट और नॉट. ये चेक करने के लिए, ये देखने के लिए क्या सभी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में लिखी हुई चीज़ पर्टिकुलर स्टेट में फॉलो हो रही है कि नहीं. तो सेंटर के द्वारा गवर्नर को अपॉइंट किया जाता है. एंड हु अपॉइंट द गवर्नर इन एवरी स्टेट? प्रेसिडेंट with the recommendation of the Prime Minister and with its council minister. So what these points shows that India is federal in character, but still we follow the features of the unitary. Yeah, of course we have in the two-tier government, but when we face the unconstitutional breakdown of state, there is center is strong. This is character of this. But still India is federal because we follow the center at the central government, state at the state government. But at the abnormal case, the center will be the strong. Single citizenship, this is character of the unitary. But still we are federal in character. All Indian services, this is a features of the character, features of the unitary. But still we having the PCS, state level, state level service commission, but there is having the all Indian services, and this is the features of the unitary. It means what? That we are both. Next, flexible constitution. India is having the rigid and supremacy of constitution, that is a strong constitution, but we have seen that some of the laws, some of the procedures is easily changed. This shows what? That we follow the flexible constitutions. Such as अगर आपको स्टेट के नेम चेंज करने हैं, किसी पर्टिकुलर प्लेस के नेम चेंज करने हैं, अल्टर द स्टेट करना है, डिवाइड द स्टेट करना है, यू नीड अ सिंपल मेजॉरिटी. किसी बड़े स्टेट को आप दो भागों में अगर सेंटर चाहे बांट सकती है, इट नीड अ सिंपल मेजॉरिटी. व्हाट दिस शोज? दैट वी आर फ्लेक्सिबल कॉन्स्टिट्यूशंस. वी हैविंग द फ्लेक्सिबल कॉन्स्टिट्यूशंस. नेक्स्ट, गवर्नर एट द स्टेट लेवल. क्यों गवर्नर अपॉइंट किए जाते हैं? टू चेक, to see whether the constitution or constitutional provision is being followed by the state government or not. You know, the head of the state is governor. All the nominal executive, it is a nominal executive. But the real executive is the CM, Chief Minister of respective state. But he is the nominal head. Means all the work in particular state will happen in the name of the governor. So what these points shows that we are federal in character, but still we follow the unitary. So these are points which satisfy the statement. Okay, dear friend. The next point which I am going to discuss, I thought that I will going to finish that rigidity and flexibility constitutions and the majority. You know, but I'm not able to manage this thing, so I'm going to end this class after 3 or 4 5 minutes by explaining one more important concept. So you listen with patience, because you know this subject require much patience. It check your thinking, patience, determination, hard working, perseverance. Okay. One more important concept, friend, you listen with carefully. We often at times say that federation, that India is federal in character. So often at times this federation word used in constitution, that we are federal. India is federal. But federation simple meaning Sangh, association. But it does not mean that if you see the actual meaning of federation, then federation means association, Sangh. Means to say that ढेर सारे लोग इकट्ठे हो जाते हैं और एक संघ बनाते हैं. That is the meaning of federation. That is the actual meaning. But in Indian case, it does not mean like this. What is meaning of federation in Indian context and what is meaning of federation in United States of America context? Listen. We often at time use federation constitution or constitution use this word federation. You know, there is a lot of debate going on deciding the name of the country, that whether India should be called a Bharat or name given by Britisher, India. So there is a lot of debate going on at the time of the formation of the constitution. So article first, that article 1, I am discussing federation. Which meaning? Association. संघ. क्या मतलब है इसका? फेडरेशन सिंपल मीनिंग एसोसिएशन और संघ. But what do you understand from association? दिमाग से. If you see the meaning of the federation in different contexts, it contains different meaning. United States of America is also federation. India is also federation. But United States of America Federation says that it is United States of America. What is meaning? United States of America. Its simple meaning that all the states, no, they have an agreement. They have an agreement that we will going to unite. We will going to, that all the states will come together to form the one country which we call United States of America. So here coming together state concept is being followed. Federation is association, but if you see in the United States of America context, federation means that states are coming together to form one statement with agreement. But in India context, it is not the same. Here, India is union of state. Article first. That India shall be a union of state. India, that is Bharat, shall be union of state. Shall be union of state. It means what? Try to understand. There is 14 state, princely state of United States of America. There is a 14 state. If you talk the America, there are 14 different states, if I'm not wrong, and they decided to come together to form one nation, and they gave a name United States of America. तो वहाँ पे सभी स्टेट ने एक एग्रीमेंट किया कि हम एक स्टेट बनाएंगे जिसका नाम यूनाइटेड स्टेट ऑफ अमेरिका रखेंगे. Means different states are coming together to form single state, to form single country, which they gave a name United States of America. So in context of the United States of America, the federation simple means that coming together to form one, that is Sangh. That is what we call federation. But this does not mean in context of India. India manipulate this idea and understand in some another thing, in another concept, in another way. India understands this federation another way. So federation does not mean that it is only coming together concept. So here you can understand that federation in Indian context is union of state. We don't having the different state. We all are one, that is India. But in India we having the different state, but because of only administrative convenience. For administrative purpose we having the different state. Okay? So India is union of state. Different state don't have an agreement. We are not our state are not the agreement. Our state don't have created an agreement with center. Our constitution in article 1st says that it is a union of state. What it simply means? It simply means that Indian constitution's article 1st says that India, that is Bharat, shall be a union of state. It does not mean that coming together, that is we all have an agreement with a different state with center. No. So what is the difference between both? That in United States of America, where we have seen the 14 princely states coming together to form America, but it does not happen in our case. We don't have an agreement with different states, but we all state is one, that is India. When you have to represent your state, you will say that we the people of India, we are the Indian state. We are not United States of America. We are union of state. Union, उसमें state. You can understand this way. You can understand this is union and this is different state. ओके कहने का मतलब ये है कि हमारे इंडिया के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में अगर फेडरेशन का मतलब ये नहीं है कि डिफरेंट स्टेट का एग्रीमेंट किया, एग्रीमेंट यहाँ पे हुआ. सो इन यूनाइटेड स्टेट ऑफ अमेरिका देयर माइट बी पॉसिबल रीजन्स दैट स्टेट द डिफरेंट स्टेट कैन आस्क दैट आई विल गोइंग टू विथड्रॉ दिस एग्रीमेंट. दे कैन आस्क to the center and they can do so because they have done an agreement. Federations का मतलब होता है कि our constitution talks the federation. Our constitution talks the federations. But if we talk in Indian context, Indian federation is the result of union of state. Indian federation is not the result of an agreement, unlike United States of America. Its simple meaning that none of the states have a power to secede from the union. What it simple mean? It simple mean that none of the state have a power to say that I am not a part of India. You cannot, because different states do not have an agreement, but we are one, that is India. We are not the United States. We don't have an agreement. Indian Federation is not the result of an agreement of state, but our constitution tell this thing in Article 1st that it is a union of state. I hope it is being clear to you. Very much important, and it also very much confusing for me. But I think that I did justice to this topic. And if you find any confusion, please you comment without any hesitations. Of course, you face lot of problem to this topic, federation, but I'm trying my level best. Okay, सिंपल फेडरेशन सिंपली मीन्स एसोसिएशन, एक संघ होता है. अगर यूनाइटेड स्टेट ऑफ अमेरिका और इंडिया की फेडरेशंस को देखें तो यूनाइटेड स्टेट ऑफ अमेरिका का फेडरेशंस कहता है कि डिफरेंट स्टेट कमिंग टुगेदर टू फॉर्म वन स्टेट. डिफरेंट स्टेट के साथ एग्रीमेंट हुआ है सेंटर के साथ. लेकिन हमारा इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन डिफरेंट स्टेट्स नहीं है. वी ऑल आर वन, दैट इज इंडिया यूनियन. We are the union of state. State don't have an agreement with center. So hence, state cannot say that I am not a part of union. I am not a part of India. Because they are not a part, but they are India. They are one. They are union. So hence, the state don't have a right to say that I am not a part of the state. Because we don't follow this concept. What the United States of America concept is. So I hope it is being clear to you. Okay, federation, association, United States or India, we have seen both the context. What federations mean? इसका मतलब होता है कि डिफरेंट स्टेट के साथ एग्रीमेंट हुआ टू फॉर्म वन अमेरिका. इसका मतलब ये हो सकता है अमेरिका में जो डिफरेंट स्टेट हैं 14 प्रिंसली स्टेट, they can ask to center that I would like to withdraw this agreement, and they can do so, but they will not going to do because of some reason. I don't know. I cannot say I don't know, because there is some other law which prevail over this, but they can withdraw because they had done an agreement. And agreement, what is meaning of agreement? Simply it is being done with the two people. It is being done with the two state. Yeah, of course, agreement simply meant that we're going to cooperate, we're going to work together. But whenever I will face some difficulties in working, then I can withdraw this agreement. But in Indian context, you can see that it is a union of state. The state have made this union. All this state, no. Different state don't have an agreement, but as whole state is one, that is a union. All this state is one. All this state they have formed a union. So hence none of the state have a power to say that I am not a part of this union. कहते हैं ना स्टेट का संगठन. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. Any confusion you face in understanding, please you comment. I hope I did justify to this topic, to these topics. Please, if you like, comment in my comment box, press the button, and don't forget to subscribe, share this channel, Sacred Study. Keep loving, keep supporting. Thank you so much.